Good blessed Saturday morning, January the 16th, 2021. Is about 9:37 a.m. I greet everybody with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. Turn it around because I hear my geese. But I'm over here. I came out to get a little air for a minute back to the lake over here. First, I want to say happy blessed birthday to my cousin Tasha Wallace, my Cabrini Green lifelong friend Benny Johnson, and whoever else birthday today that I may not know. I want y'all to see my geese. They know when I come, you know I got something on my mind, you know, and they meets me here every now and then. Y'all see them in formation? Them are my geese, y'all. You know, I'm going to tell you why they coming, because this morning I was kind of doing like Mary and Martha was when their brother Lazarus died. You know, my dad, he didn't seem to be too good like he had been last night. He wouldn't consume nothing. I appreciate y'all, geese. I appreciate y'all a lot. But do y'all see how God send comforters for you? But anyway, I woke up this morning because all last night my dad, you know, he wouldn't drink nothing. He was, you know, he drinks very little. And we got to remember, you know, they got him on what you call hospice. You know, they don't want you to give him nothing. They told me everything was going to his lungs, but yesterday for the first time, they got a nurse for hospice that comes 2 times. Well, yesterday was the first time that she came because he just came home on Wednesday. But you know, she changed him. You know, in his pamper, you know, it was saturated with urine. If it's saturated with urine, that means he's peeing, because he hadn't told me he had to pee a couple of times. But you know, he don't get up, so he got the little pull up on. But anyway, I just want to show you something with God. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make it as low or short as possible, because it's cold out here. It's about 36 degrees. But she changed it yesterday, and it was saturated with urine. And then today, he told me he had to pee. And I said, you okay? And I changed again. So that means that fluid is not going in his lungs. But, you know, I got up because I seen last night he just didn't look good. You know what I mean? All last night he didn't look good, you know, and something that my mother used to play with me when I worry about something, like in August of 1977, when I was in prison and my oldest brother was shot down like an animal in Cabrini Green in the row houses, shot 4 times in the back and once in the back of the head. And when my mother came to the prison to visit me, I said, well, if there's a God, why did he allow my brother, your son, to get killed? Years after I got parole and came back out, you know, my mama to ask me, you remember that question that you asked me? She said, I want you to sit down and listen to this. She said, I told you before, every situation that we go through here on earth, the Bible got an answer for it. She put Aretha Franklin on. My mother loved the blues, and my mama loved gospel. And the song she put on was, years later now, Mary, Don't You Weep. Now, I laid here this morning, got up and played it, and it came back to me. You see what I'm saying? Y'all know the story of Mary and Martha had a brother named Lazarus. Sometimes I get emotional. I ask God not to let me get emotional today so I can get my message out. Before I get the message out, I'm going to tell you, it's okay to get emotional. It's okay to cry sometime. You see, because in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, verses 1 through 8. I'm not going to go in the chronological order, but I am going to go with the first verse. And some of the different Bibles says they're different, but it's all the same. It's just like me saying, stop. Or saying, don't move. Don't you go nowhere right now. All of them mean what? Stop. You see what I'm saying? But in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, the 1st verse, it says, there's a time and a place for everything up under the sun. I didn't come to really preach. You know, I'm an ambassador. I'm not a preacher. I'm an ambassador of Jesus Christ. Dispatch any place on the face of this earth to try to uplift fallen humanity, to try to uplift somebody that's emotionally down. But sometimes I needed to. But it said there's a purpose, a time and a place for everything up under the sun. Not S-U-N, but not S-O-N, but it's S-U-N, everything down here on earth. You see, it's a time to be born and it's a time to die. It's a time to laugh and it's time to cry. You see, but all these things it's a time for. It's a time to heal, it's a time to kill. It's a time to love, it's a time to hate. But after all these things, guess what? Through them 1 through 8 verses, and one of it says, it's a time to refrain from all of that. You see, I used to act a fool in Cabrini Green. You see what I'm saying? I was a force by myself not to be reckoned with. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to boast, not saying I was the toughest person on the face of this earth, but I was a force not to be reckoned with by myself. Like Tupac said, me and my girlfriend. But I ain't gonna, we know when I said my girlfriend, I ain't talking about a female. But anyway, God told me, you know, my mama kept trying to tell me to stop doing what I'm doing because she raised me right. But you know one thing about it? My mama said she prayed that God do something to change me. In Pontiac Penitentiary, it changed me. Stateville Penitentiary, it changed me. Joliet Penitentiary, it changed me. Menard Penitentiary, it changed me. It changed me and molded me. I was in there with brothers that had been locked up since 1966. You see what I'm saying? When I was like about 8 years old, they had been in prison, but they educated me. You see what I'm saying? Go back out there and make a difference. And I didn't know the difference was going to be having to watch people die. I didn't know the difference was going to be to come stand up against white supremacists, stand up against people that's oppressing other people. I didn't know it was going to be up against people calling me all type of names. I didn't know it was going to be up when somebody hit me in my jaw. Like Martin Luther King said, turn the other cheek. I didn't think I could ever do that. But I did it. But I played, Mary, don't you weep, tell your sister Martha not to moan. And after I played it for a while, my 2 young daughters, they told me, go get you some air. And I came out here with my ducks. But you see, if God decided to take my daddy, it's his time. But if he don't decide to take him, it ain't his time. But I just want to tell y'all this here. We as human beings, all of us have an assignment and a mission. Some of y'all mission is to keep me uplifted so I can still get on the front of the battle line. Because it ain't easy sitting in the house with somebody that the doctors done gave up with. One day they doing good, talking to you. The next day they say, I don't want nothing. But I feel a little good because this cold weather is freezing my hands. You see what I'm saying? This cold weather has got me at a standstill so I can listen. And God told me, ain't no need of worrying what the night is going to bring because it's going to all be over in the morning. You see, there's nothing that you can do to stop anything, just like this water. Psalms 23, it said, the Lord is my shepherd and I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in the green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I would fear no evil because thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. You see, they prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. They anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely, not maybe. You see what I'm saying? When my cup run over, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me, not sometime, not for a couple of seconds, not for a couple of minutes, not for a couple of hours, not for a couple of weeks, not for a couple of months, not for a couple of years, not for a couple of decades, not for a couple of centuries. But surely goodness and mercy should follow me all the days of my life. You see what I'm saying? And I would dwell in the house of the Lord, the Creator, for the rest of my life. There'll be no more sickness, y'all. No more dying. No more drive-by shootings. You see what I'm saying? No more adulteries. No more kidnappings. No more robberies. You know, God let me not be emotional because Satan just told me to cry. And God told me, peace. Y'all, peace. Be still.